In addition to this blockade, the joint force, through operations and activities in other areas of responsibility, like the Pacific area of responsibility under the command of Admiral Paparo, will actively pursue any Iranian flagged vessel or any vessel attempting to provide material support to Iran. This includes dark fleet vessels carrying Iranian oil.
There are about 100, somewhere between 160 to 190 million barrels of oil, Iranian oil, that is sitting in what we know as ghost fleet tankers. These are tankers that are already sanctioned or owned by entities that are sanctioned.
Hi there, welcome back to the Business Gone. Today we're going to be talking about oil and the US strategies in Iran. You see, the problem is that the US is very confused and very contradictory to its own messages. And the main reason why the US is so confused about what to do with Iran is because US was emboldened by its successes in Venezuela. Venezuela had no cards, and the US thought that Iran is the same kind of beast as Venezuela. After trying to bomb Iran and strike its oil refineries and energy sector, it refrained from that and decided to go in for a peace talk with Iran. When the peace talk failed, Donald Trump said it was going to implement a navy blockade on Iran. Yeah, a navy blockade on Iran would be very devastating on the Iranian economy and will probably bring Iran to its knees. In which case, if there is a navy blockade on the ports in Iran, it means the oil that Iran already have in its reserves, it can use it for maybe 10 days, 20 days, and that will be all. But there is a problem with this. 95% of the oil that Iran exports goes to China. And Trump cannot afford to irritate Xi Jinping. If the navy blockade on Iran continues, what we understand is that there will be difficulties of bringing consumer goods. Okay, there will be difficulties on exports. There will be difficulties on the oil industry. Iran will not be able to pay its military. It will not be able to pay the civil servants. But there is a problem with this kind of thinking. Iran is not Venezuela. If Iran cannot export its oil, if Iran cannot sell its oil, if Iran cannot import goods and services, there is no reason why Iran will keep the Strait of Hormuz open for the other countries. Technically, Iran and the USA are still at war. Therefore, if the USA will implement a blockade on Iranian vessels or Chinese vessels going to Iran to buy or import goods and services and also export oil, it means that Iran will retaliate by closing the Strait of Hormuz for everyone. And that brings us back to square one. No solution has been implemented. And if it brings us back to square one, we go back to the hot war, or all the other Gulf countries. So we have Saudi Arabia, Oman, we have Qatar, we have Kuwait, will not be able to export oil, will not be able to import their goods and services. So it's a lose-lose situation. And that is why we think that the US strategy is confusing and contradictory. However, as of now, because of arrogance, because of the fact that the US feels it is the big boy of the global economy, it cannot accept the reality. But the reality is that the US cannot afford a 100% blockade on Iran. That is the take on the Business Gone. Please remember to subscribe, and let's hear your opinion in the comment section. God bless you.
Threatening to shoot missiles and drones at ships, commercial ships that are lawfully transiting international waters, that is not control. That's piracy. That's terrorism. The United States Navy controls the traffic going in and out of the strait because we have real assets. and real capabilities. And we're doing this blockade, performing it with less than 10% of America's naval power. And at the same time, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and our friends over at Treasury are launching Operation Economic Fury as well, maximizing economic pressure across the entirety of the government. To Iran, choose wisely.